1, 1,000. 2, 1,000. 3, 1,000. How many of you have already decided? You're wondering, decided what? Well, they tell us that we have between 3 and 10 seconds before people make up their minds whether they like us or not. And I used to think on that. How is that possible? I read an article recently that indicated that our eyes can take in 7.3 gigabytes of information per second. 7.3 gigs per second. Let me put that in perspective. I have a laptop. It's got 821 gigabytes of space left. In a matter of seconds, you folks would crash my laptop, and it really would make me mad. The eyes are such powerful instruments. Let me ask you a question. How many of you agree that eye contact during communication is extremely important? Raise your hand. Practically everybody. Now, how many of you know the proper way to make eye contact? Raise your hands. Nobody raised their hand. There's 3, 2, 3. It's amazing that I get that same response whenever I ask that question. Here's the deal. Today, you are in luck. I'm going to share with you the proper way to make eye contact, and I hope from the moment you leave this room until forever, that you'll always use this technique. You always look your listener or the speaker, when you must make eye contact, you look at them into their left eye. What? Look at them through their left eye. Now, I didn't just make this up. It's backed by philosophy. It's backed by science and medicine. And it's backed by practical application. Philosophy. A gentleman named Roger Sperry opined that when you have an aneurysm on the right side of your brain, you are going to have your left side of your body affected. You have a stroke. And it's not as common, but if you have an aneurysm on the left side of your brain, the right side of your body is affected. Now, I misspoke. This is the medical part of it. But the gentleman, Roger Sperry, opined that our right hemisphere tells our left brain or left eye what to see. Our right brain tells our left eye what to see. So more medical or science to back up the left eye logic is that if you talk to your local optometrist or ophthalmologist, they're going to tell you that your left eye lens has nerves that cross over and go into your right brain. So your nerve endings to your left eye are connected to your right brain. The philosopher tells you that your right brain tells your left eye what to see. Well, what's all that mean? The reason that that's important is we spend most of our time trying to convince someone to do something. Either we're in sales and we're trying to make a sale. We're a parent and we're trying to convince children to do the right thing. We're a husband or a wife and we're trying to convince our spouse that we should take this vacation. The secret to getting to yes is by looking at them in the left eye when you make that eye contact. Well, Rod, scientifically, philosophically, okay. It was time for me to put it to practical use. So even when I came out here, it's kind of dark, but I can see you. I looked on the left side of your face because I knew I was going to ask you, how many of you have decided? I knew you were going to make up your minds whether you liked me or not, so I had to hedge my bet. What I want to make sure is that every one of you really get this. When I began to practically look at people in their left eye, something else happened that I didn't intend. I could see the pupils of the person I was speaking to. Well, why is that important? Because physiologically, if your pupils dilate when someone is speaking to you or when you're speaking to someone else, that means that that person is interested in what's being said. However, if the pupils constrict and they look like the top of a pin, that person has no time for you, they're not interested, and they can't wait for you to stop talking. In the sales world, we call those people pushy salespeople. How many of you love pushy salespeople? No one. And somebody raised their hand in the back. What happens when we get a pushy salesperson is they're not paying attention to the signs. But if they would look in our eyes and watch the pupils, they'd understand that a constricted pupil says, we need more information. And what I typically would do is say, listen, I can tell that you still have something that's bothering you. Let's talk about it. And then hopefully you'll tell me. And I could literally overcome that particular objection and watch the pupils grow. And as the pupils grow, I know it's now time for me to say, well, what is it that you want to do next? And you close the sale. Left eye contact. Let's do this. Really quick, I want you to turn to the person next to you. I want you to look them in the left eye. Introduce yourself to them, but you must look at them in the left eye. Let's do it really quick. Okay. Raise your hand if you thought that was weird. Here's the deal. It feels weird at first because you're wondering things like, can they tell that I'm looking in their left eye? Or it just feels weird to you when you're trying to do it. Trust me. They can't tell. There's no difference. It's just eye contact. But, I have to tell you something. There are two other occasions where the left eye logic won't work. When it's dark in the room, our pupils dilate. And also, if you're on drugs, your pupils will dilate. So, all things being equal, if you're in a sales environment, you'll have some light, and you'll be able to tell if that person is truly interested. And I'm at a disadvantage here because I got it. 2 minutes. Could I have a volunteer? Because I'm not quite sure that you are sold on this left eye logic, and I need to make sure that everybody understands. Have you met me before today? No? Just a few minutes ago. Will you do something for me? Extend your left arm. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Actually, I'm going to give you a command. No matter what I do, I will not be able to push your left arm down. But I need you to say that for me with conviction. And don't let me push your left arm down. Say it.
No matter what you do, you cannot push my left arm down.
Now, you heard him when he introduced me. I work out a lot.
I do too.
So I put pressure on him. Okay. This time, same thing. No matter what, you're not going to let me to push it down. Tell me that with conviction and mean it.
No matter what you do, you cannot push my left arm down.
Why do you feel that way? Thank you very much.
Great job. Great job.
So what you just witnessed is that when I asked him the original question, he put that arm out there, he's in his right brain. He's being creative, his emotional center. He's invested. His left brain cannot make decisions. His left brain only knows analytics and numbers. So when I paused and I asked him that question, his left brain kicked in and I was able to get past his right brain and push his arm down. The left eye logic works. I'm just going to leave you with this. All of you have been left-eyed today. And the only thing that I ask is that you go out and left-eye others. Thank you.